Ah, the Tudors. We like the Tudors, the joys of merry England. Under Henry VIII and Queen Elizabeth, England underwent its own renaissance, with William Shakespeare setting English culture ablaze at the Globe Theatre. But if you lived then, it was a time of religious turmoil and political terror. Henry VIII. He had a gargantuan appetite and a massive waist to match, 52 inches of meat-fueled blubber. But what went in had to come out, creating some surprising employment opportunities. I've got a very, very rare piece of furniture here. It's from around 1700, and in the days before the advent of the modern toilet, this was a loo fit for a king. It's called a closed stool, which is where we get our word stool from. A stool is something that you find at the bottom of a stool. And if by any chance you were interested in knowing how the king wiped his bottom, well, he'd actually got someone to sort that sort of thing out for him. He was known as the groom of the stool. And frankly, I'd rather be a spit boy. In Tudor times, the monarch's body was sacred. Only the most aristocratic hands were worthy to disappear beneath the royal buttocks. So the groom of the stool had a lot of power in exchange for his revolting job, though as a career tactic, it gives a whole new meaning to brown nosing. Okay, here's our retiring room, just adjacent to the king's bedchamber. Here's the box, which looks rather like something a magician might use, and in a way I suppose it is. Who's going to be the king?
Your Majesty.
So you do all the rest, right?
Yeah, indeed. What you're sitting on now is a modern replica of a box that Henry VIII would have used on a daily basis. This stool is, in fact, like one in his inventory, 1547, after his death.
The million-dollar question, do you actually wipe the royal bum?
Well, of course, yeah, because you're not just a king, you are a divine body on earth. You are divinely appointed, therefore there's no Tom, Dick or Harry that touches your body. It has to be a trusted nobleman.
So this is quite a high-status job.
Oh, it's the highest job within the royal household. Amongst courtiers, you've got people like the Chancellor who are running the country, but within the palaces themselves, the groom of the stool is the most important next to the king.
High status, but not that pleasant.
Indeed so, yeah. Well, but Henry VIII created this body called the Privy Chamber after 1519, which drew its members from noblemen. So I'm one of a privileged few, and, the royal backside is all part of the job for me.
And Henry would have been pretty crotchety, wouldn't he?
An increasingly vicious person to be around. Of course, the closer you are to him, in a sense, the more dangerous it was. And Henry Norris, the groom of the stool in the mid-1530s, was implicated in Anne Boleyn's infidelities. So he hit the dirt.